Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to study Chapter 1, A Letter to God by Joel Fuentes. They say faith can move mountains. Now, mountains are immovable. Making an immovable object move appears to be impossible. So, impossible can become possible by faith. But what should we put our faith in? This is the question this story delicately poses. Lencho is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined, asking for 100 pesos. So, we are going to read the story in which the main character is a farmer and his name is Lencho. His crops are destroyed by hailstorm. Then he writes a letter to God asking for 100 pesos. Now, the questions which arise in our mind can be: does Lencho's letter reach God? Does God send him the money? So, to get the answers, let us go through the text of the story. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. The house here refers to the house of Lencho. It was a solitary house, it was an isolated house in the entire valley. It was situated, underline sat means situated here, on the top of a low hill. Crest means top. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted, underline dotted means covered with or full of or it had many of those things scattered over its surface that always promised a good harvest. Harvest is mature crop. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. Underline downpour means heavy rainfall. The only thing the earth and Lencho's field required was a downpour. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, underline intimately means closely, had done nothing else but here means except, except, see the sky towards the northeast. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who was a very intelligent farmer, that is why he knew his fields closely, had done nothing else except watching the sky towards the northeast. Now, the questions which can be asked out of this passage are: first, where did Lencho live? So this is very easy question which can be answered out of first 3 lines of this passage. Lencho lived in a house that was located on the crest of a low hill. From that height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers. His house was the only one in the entire valley. Next question can be: why did Lencho's fields need a downpour or a shower? The corn in his field was almost ripe and was dotted with flowers. This was a promise of a good harvest, but only if there was some downpour or at least a shower. So Lencho saw the sky towards northeast the entire morning, expecting rain. Now we are really going to get some water woman. Woman here refers to Lencho's wife. The woman who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing." Underline, God willing is an idiom or a phrase which means only if everything goes well. She replied, "We are going to get some water only if everything goes well." She replied to the sentence uttered by Lencho. who said, now we are really going to get some water. He was hopeful that his fields were going to get some water. The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all, come for dinner. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho predicted, had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. Predicted is combination of two expressions, pre plus dict. Pre means before, dict means to announce. So Lencho had already made a prediction that his fields were going to get some rain, and according to the same expectation, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body, and when he returned, he exclaimed. The word exclaimed shows his feelings of utter joy. He was full of joy when he was feeling the pleasure of rain on his body. These aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. So this is metaphor. He compares the raindrops to new coins. When we compare one object with another object without using as or like, this is called metaphor. So what is the similarity between the raindrops and new coins? We have to ponder over it. We have to think over it. The similarity between raindrops and new coins. So we have to notice. First similarity is that both are round. Second, both shine. And third is both are valuable. So raindrops are as valuable for him as new coins because they promise good wealth. He compares the big drops to 10-cent pieces and the little ones to 5-cent pieces. So he says the big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5s. With a satisfied expression, now he is fully satisfied that everything is happening just according to his sweet will. He regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. He looked at his fields. They were drenched in water and they appeared to be wrapped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow. The entire scene changed here, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. Now, the author has not used the expression resembled, the verb resembled. He has used here the expression did resemble. If I say I went there, I simply went there. And if I say I did go there, what is the difference? If I wish to emphasize on the fact that I went there and someone does not agree or does not want to admit, then I have to say I did go there.